I keep telling myself to write this before I forget what words are. If I disappear again, at least someone will see it and maybe believe me. It started on a Tuesday. I was late for work, coffee in one hand, messenger bag in the other. Sunrise was still low enough to paint the frost orange. I cut through the side alley behind the baker, something I never do. But the main road was jammed. That's where I saw it, a seam in the air, like the surface tension of water, stretched vertical between two dumpsters. I should have ignored it. Instead, I reached out. The moment my palm touched, everything muted. Cars, footsteps, even the smell of bread vanished. I wasn't falling, but my stomach dropped the way it does in a fast elevator. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the grey. The grey isn't dark. It isn't light either. It's like the color inside a storm cloud. Ground and sky blur into the same smear. I spun, searching for buildings, street signs, people. Nothing. Only a horizonless plain and a faint hum, steady as tinnitus. I yelled first my own name, then random curses just to prove I had a voice. My words came back seconds later, distorted like an old tape being rewound. I walked for what felt like hours, though my watch stayed locked at 7:12 a.m. somewhere ahead. I saw a flicker, shapes assembling from static. As I approached, it resolved into my old childhood swing set same. Peeling blue paint, same crooked beam. It shouldn't exist. That house was sold decades ago. I sat on the swing and the air rippled. Children's laughter echoed, but the swings beside me were empty. My chest tightened. I stepped away, and the playground evaporated like steam. I kept moving. Landmarks from my life popped in and out. My high school locker row, the cracked linoleum of my first apartment, my dad's recliner with the permanent coffee stain. They appeared for seconds, then bled back into mist. I felt like a spider caught between its own threads. Past, present, and something else twisting together. Hours, days, passed. I never felt hunger, but my mind itched for sleep. I tried closing my eyes. When I opened them, I was on a train platform carved entirely from light. Rails hummed with an invisible engine. A schedule board ticked phantom numbers. 712 gives infinity. Beneath it, graffiti scrawled in black. Do not follow your reflection. I boarded the only car because doing. Nothing was worse. Inside, there were mirrors instead of windows. Each one held a different version of me, older, younger, gaunt, smiling, crying. One mouthed, "Wrong turn." Another tapped the glass and wrote backwards, "It's still Tuesday somewhere." The train jerked. Through the mirrors, landscapes slid by, oceans boiling like tea, cities folding into paper cranes. A clock tower dripping molten silver. I sat clutching the seat until the doors opened into an empty corridor of doors, infinite. Spiraling upward. Every door bore a timed stamp. The 14th of June 1987, the 3rd of September 2014, the 11th of November 2099. I tried my birthday. Behind it, I saw my 12th birthday party frozen mid-laugh. Mom's hands hung in mid-clap. Cake candle smoke suspended like sculpture. I reached toward her, and the scene shattered into glass-fine shards. My fingers bled light. Panic gnawed at me. I stumbled through another door labeled unknown. Suddenly I was on a cliff overlooking an hourglass ocean, waves made of cascading sand. Far below, shapes crawled across the dunes, silhouettes of people I half recognized, old classmates, neighbors. My grandfather, all staring upward, mouths open in silent question. A voice my own yet ancient whispered directly into my skull. Every choice leaves an echo. You've stepped into them. I begged to go home. The voice only said, "Home isn't where you left it." I followed a silver rope of light along the cliff's edge, hoping it led somewhere. The rope coiled into a spiral staircase descending beneath the sand. Each step pulsed with heartbeat-like thuds. The lower I went, the more I heard my father's laugh, my ex's last voicemail, lullabies my mother used to hum. I wept because it was the first real sound I'd heard in forever. At the bottom stood a door with no handle. Above it, "Exit once. Choose now." I slammed my fists. The door slid open. Beyond lay a city, my city, but distorted, sun-pinned overhead like a spotlight. streets bent in Escher impossible angles. A newspaper drifted by carrying tomorrow's date. My phone buzzed, 50 missed calls from me. I walked toward my apartment building. Inside, everything was arranged backward, sofa on the ceiling, light pouring upward, clocks counting negative time. On the table lay a note in my handwriting, "You'll keep looping until you stop chasing the hour you lost." I shouted until my throat cracked. The city wavered like a mirage. Then like a snapped rubber band I was back in the alley behind the bakery. Hand against the invisible scene, my coffee was still hot. People bustled by as if nothing happened. But every night since, I wake at 7:12 a.m. sharp, no matter what. The world feels slightly skewed, shadows stretching wrong, radios crackling words they shouldn't. Sometimes I see that faint seam, in corners of rooms, shimmering like a dare. I don't know if I truly escaped, or if this version of life is just one more door in the grey. All I know is when the scene calls, I'll feel it tug, and if I answer, I might never write again.